Okay, so welcome to the Monday evening masterclass. We're going to start tonight talking about a breathing technique. So last week we started the preliminary breath for circular breath. I ran out of time, so I wasn't able to do the full practice. But when you do circular breath, you always start with a one-to-one breath, which is what we did last weekend. And we started with breathing into the belly, pulling it up into the diaphragm, then into the chest, and then letting the breath release naturally. But it's an even breath, one-to-one breath. So today we're going to start out with circular breath. We're going to have our hand, right hand on your belly, left hand is on your chest. So we're going to start there. And we're going to do that one-to-one breath again. And if you're not sure, or if it's feeling a little bit laborious today, then you can go back to last Monday night's practice and revisit that breath. And I did post it on YouTube, so you can go back and visit that and just practice that breath and then start working with the circular breath. But we're going to do a little bit of the one-to-one breath, move it right into circular breath. Circular breath is super beneficial for helping to release any kind of emotional stuff, mental stuff. So what happens in yoga and Ayurveda is we are not just a physical body. We are made up of layers. And as we go through life, you just accumulate tension, stress, impressions. So anything that happens to you that kind of affected you, if you don't have a way of releasing it, it gets stored. It gets stored in our energetic body, our emotional body, our physical body. And then we can use yoga and other practices and also breathing techniques to help release. What's really, really beneficial and cool about this breath is if you work with it, it will really help you process. So instead of having to go to the counselor and talk about your problems, what you do is you work it out through your breath. And so this is a yoga therapy approach to dealing with our psychological stuff that happens, that comes up. We all have mental limitations. We all have neuropaths that we've been reinforcing in patterns our whole lives. So how do we work through those and not repeat the same things in our life over and over and over? We always will find ourselves in the same dynamics unless we can release those types of patterns in some ways. So you either do it through the subconscious, you do it through your practice, you can release it energetically. There's tons of stuff out there available to us today. So we're going to work with that breath. That's what we're starting with. You're going to go ahead and sit on your mat. Normally I teach this breath laying down, but we are doing it seated today. And you will need to close your eyes as you do it. So I'm going to get my blanket up a little bit higher so you can fold it in thirds, or you can use a meditation pillow. If it is not comfortable for you to sit on the floor, then get into a chair. No problem. Whatever is going to be comfortable for you. So one hand is on your belly, the other hand is on your chest. So once you are seated comfortably, close your eyes. Back to that one-to-one breath. So you just even out the inhale, even out the exhale. So we'll start there. Slow down the breath. Let the breath become more subtle, more quiet. And if you notice any hesitations in the breath, continue to work with smoothing them out. And those hesitations are just indications that you are holding mentally, emotionally, energetically, physically. Doesn't really matter what layer it is, but there is a hold, some sort of resistance. And the breath is revealing that. Good. And then we're going to work with filling the belly on your inhale. So you fill the belly on your inhale, then pull up into the diaphragm, fill it up into the diaphragm, and then fill up into the chest. So you're feeling your hands move. You're feeling that lower hand move as you fill the belly, pull it up into the diaphragm, and up into the chest. Exhale out the nose and let it all release naturally. And then fill the belly again, into the diaphragm, into the chest, and then release. And then filling it again. And release. So you're moving the hand that's on the belly, pulling the breath up into the diaphragm, then moving the hand that's on the chest. Do that a couple more times. And then releasing your hands. A 1-to-1 breath, filling the belly up to the chest, empty. Inhale, 4 counts, 5 counts, 6 counts, whatever's comfortable for you. You're going to exhale, same amount of counts. Now I want you to begin to notice the space between the breath. Notice after the inhale, there is a space. And after the there is a space. What we're going to do is we're going to close the gap in the space. We're going to actually move into that circular breath where we connect the inhale right to the exhale, no space. And then the exhale to the inhale. Smooth it out. And if you notice any resistances on either side of the breath, just continue to smooth and work through that. Eventually it resolves. Connecting inhale to exhale. Exhale to inhale. Circular breath. It helps release mental, emotional, energetic disturbances. Connect. Inhale to exhale, exhale to inhale. Smooth it out. Couple more breaths. Good. And then from there, we're going to bring our hands to the heart. Just taking a pause. Gently, and when it feels natural, open your eyes. Good. And now we're going to move on into the regular practice tonight. So we're going to start out seated. I'm going to just transition this video